repeat the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Got a lot to cover tonight, not too many short items, so we'll go ahead and get started with our meeting today. First thing on the agenda is we have approval of minutes. Commissioners, we have two sets of minutes, one from October 16th and the other one from November 20th. We'll take them one at a time.
In November.
Sorry. November 3rd and November 6th. Sorry.
16th.
Okay. So. Oh, hey, look at that. If I push the button. So 3 sets of minutes, October 16th, November 6th, and November 20th. Do we have any corrections on the October 16th meeting?
I don't have any.
I didn't see any either. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the minutes from the October 16th commission meeting.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On the November 6th meeting, do we have any corrections or changes there?
I didn't see any corrections on that one.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from November 6, 2024.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then the last set of minutes is the November 20th. Do we have any corrections?
No.
I'll make a motion that we approve the commission meeting minutes from November 20th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda is Employee of the Month. Kelly.
Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm excited and a little sad, but our employee of the month is actually Casey. So he has served 3 terms as a commissioner, started in 2013, and has done a fantastic job. So we just want to say thank you and present you with a little retirement plaque.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Enough of that. We can move on.
I would like to say it was tough to keep that a secret. We'd kind of spoke about it a ways back, but definitely earned, definitely have appreciated working with you. I don't know if people know we ran against each other at one point, but if you can't beat them, join them. That's what Casey told me. I'm going to hold to that. But like I say, it's been really good to work with Casey and Commissioner Jensen as well, and really a good team. I'm glad to see you moving on and doing what you would like to do, because after 12 years, this gets a little rough. But thank you, and well deserved.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, same from me, Casey. I appreciate the county's a better place because he's been serving. There's no question. There's been some very major decisions made while he's been here that have affected all of us, and even though some may view them as something that was a negative, if you understood the background and the reasons why decisions are made, Casey's always right on top of it. So thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, Super Service Award. Tina.
So a heads up to the one that cries all the time would have been appreciated today. So just kidding. I did not know that was happening either, but congratulations, Casey. So I'm going to read the nomination. Unfortunately, the person that is chosen is not here today. She wasn't able to be here, but she did offer some thoughts. So Val is currently working to fund an all-access playground for children with disabilities and helper, and she is seeking to raise $1 million. She is well on her way to receiving the needed funding. This is not the first project Val has undertaken, as she was instrumental in getting the Angel of Hope tribute at the Cliffview Cemetery. Val cares deeply about helping our community and does things to make our community better. She takes on the difficult job of helping our community with the emotional process of creating headstones and does it with such kindness and understanding. She goes above and beyond with her customer service and has set herself apart from others, not only in Carbon and Emery County, but I feel the state. I am so thankful for Val and the staff at Marietti Monuments for providing a kind and needed service for our communities. So the winner is Val Marietti with Marietti Monuments. So Val provided this for us today. So Val Marietti owns Marietti Monuments with her husband, Jason. Val manages the business while Jason handles the masonry work and placement of the stones at the cemeteries. Val would like to extend her gratitude to the person who nominated her, to the community for supporting her, and to the county for the recognition. Thank you.
Please express our appreciation and gratitude for all the work she does in our community.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 4, review and possible approval of County Wayfinding Guidelines. Tina.
Thank you, commissioners. So this came about because tourism dollars, we had been setting tourism dollars aside for very important infrastructure projects throughout the county. And one of those things was wayfinding. So a couple of years ago, our funds were able to be some matching money to assist Helper in doing their new wayfinding project. The county also did a wayfinding project. So those who might have noticed out by the fairgrounds, out by Consumers Road, going to different places throughout the county, we did wayfinding that matches our brand. And with that, as we continue into 2025 and future years, we want to be able to have that funding available for our additional partners, cities like Price, Wellington, and East Carbon. But our board felt that it was important that we generate some guidelines that goes along with that funding and what is required in order to receive it. And so with the help with one of our board members, we came up with some guidelines to kind of direct that money with the project, and then also an application. So it would be an application process. They would have to apply for it, and it would have to be a 1-to-1 matching. So they would have to match the other part of the project. It can be, they can match that with their money. It can also be with other grant money that they can match that with too as well. So this is just a review and possible approval of the guidelines and application.
Do we have any questions?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I appreciate what you're doing to spruce up this community, and the wayfinding signs have been really nice. So thank you for that. If there's no other conversation, I'll make a motion that we approve give the approval for the county wayfinding guidelines and application.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
Item number 5, consideration of possible approval of the RC solar project in Wellington for 2025. Antonio. And any of the team that you'd like to bring up. Just state your names in the mic for the record.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you so much for inviting us to present today. My name is Teresa Foxley. I'm the chief of staff for R+ Energies, joined by a known commodity here, Antonio Resta. And also, while he's not addressing the commission today, did want to acknowledge that we have Jared Ewan here, Price resident, and who's working on our Green River Energy Center project as a construction manager. So thanks for being here. And yeah, we appreciate the opportunity to join the commission. We have a brief presentation today. Wanted to share some updates on R+ Energies as a whole. Wanted to share a little bit about what's going on in the power markets today, and then discuss the RC solar project, which is a proposed project here in Carbon County, and our partnership with Carbon County on that through a property tax increment financing arrangement. So hopefully we're a known commodity now to the county, but R+ Energies is a Salt Lake-based renewable energy and energy storage development company. We were founded in 2018. We focus on developing grid scale solar plus battery, wind, and pump storage hydro projects. We're very proud that the first project that we developed to have been brought online is the graphite solar project here in Carbon County, an 80 megawatt project that is delivering needed and important power to the grid. So we are very thrilled to have had our first project be a project here with Carbon County. Since the last time we had the opportunity to address the commission, we have had some really positive milestones that we just wanted to make you aware of and to also thank you for your support on. So in September, R Plus broke ground on the Green River Energy Center, a name that will live in infamy for not being the right name. At least our CEO, I think, would say that. This is a 400 megawatt PV, 400 megawatt 4-hour battery project in Emery County, but it is a regionally significant project and is drawing from the regional labor force here. And that project will be under construction for the next couple of years with a planned online date of May 2026. We were very appreciative to have had Commissioner Martinez join us for the groundbreaking there. Construction is going really well. We are on schedule, and happily, just 2 weeks ago, we were able to continue our Local First Scholarship Program with a donation of $375,000 to the USU Eastern, to USU East. And although the project is being constructed in Emery County, we wanted this to be a regionally significant gift, so residents of both Carbon and Emery counties can apply for and be recipients of that scholarship. So some very positive updates on R+. We continue to move forward and advance the projects that we have throughout our portfolio. There are some headwinds, though, that we're facing as an industry that we wanted to make sure that the commission was aware of. With changes to the federal administration, there are some unknown potential policy changes that might impact renewable energy and energy projects. Some of them may be a detriment to energy development. Others we think may be a positive. It's just an unknown, and that type of uncertainty always gives businesses pause. We do suspect that we may have some uncertainty around pricing and tariffs for the project, for the global supply chain that makes up these renewable energy projects. And all of that might come with some additional shipping and logistics snarls and hardships that we've experienced but been able to work through in the past. So happily, though, there are a lot of tailwinds, and we think we'll be able to take advantage of some of those tailwinds because this is such a, specifically with RC Solar, because it's such a strongly positioned project within this marketplace. The demand is very strong, as you all know, between onshoring of manufacturing, electrification, and AI data centers. The need for power is unabated, and that remains true for the types of projects that we develop. This project in particular is super competitive for investment, given the resource, the strong partnership that we have with the county, have secured land, position, interconnection, and really the remaining piece that we all can solve together would be nailing and finalizing a CRA agreement, which we'll talk about a little bit later. On top of that, we have good tailwinds with this at the state level, with Governor Cox having announced a goal for the state to double its power production in the next 10 years, and this could very much be a part of that. So with that, I'll thank the commission. I'll be available for questions, but we'll turn the time over to Antonio. So thank you.
Thanks, Teresa. Thank you, Commission, for letting me speak here today. I'm going to introduce myself again. It's Antonio Resta. I've spoken here a number of times, but just to reintroduce the project, I know I've talked about it a few times, but it is the RC Solar project. It's off of Highway 6, just north of the Graphite Solar project. It's 80 megawatts of PV and 80 megawatts of BESS, or battery energy storage. As Teresa had said, a number of the great things about this project is that we do have full land control. We do have an approved conditional use permit from this county. We have the federal permit from the BLM for our Gentile line. So it's sitting in a really good and great place right now. Moving past the actual project and speaking more about the numbers of RC as a whole, it is as you guys can see there, it is a $200 million capital investment in Carbon County with a total assessable value of $120 million. And so what that looks like into this county, is assuming a 40.75 post-performance rebate, the county will receive roughly $630,000 in revenue on the first year. Additionally, we will receive a roughly $550,000 tax rebate. But with that, this is more of a breakdown for net year one for the taxing entities as well as the housing revenue. It looks around right at $757,000. So that's a great start. Just to highlight a little bit more about this is the fact that This shows you a build or no build options. As you can currently see, your no build options are for your county $27,000, your school district $73,000 over a course of a 30-year period, your municipal $20,000, and your housing $0. With a build option over the course of 30 years, you're looking at $2 million for the county, $5.6 million for the school district, $1.5 million for your municipal, and $1.5 million for your housing. These are rough numbers as current, but it really does highlight the drasticness between the two build and no build options. And with that, I want to, and with that, I guess back to me, sorry about that, guys. And with that, we are just looking for the commission's support on this today, moving forward. Thank you.
Any questions? Any comments?
Being that I've worked both sides with R+ Energy, I'm really impressed by how they give back to the community, how they do support local industry. And it's not just a come in, make money, and get out. And one of the biggest highlights too is the land that these solar projects are going on are typically greenbelt agricultural land that has really not a high taxable amount that comes to the county. So these types of projects certainly help. As you mentioned too, the governor does want us to increase energy. We have a lot of folks that are looking to move into this community, but there's not enough energy or electricity available for some of these companies. So moving forward over the next decade or two, there's going to be a huge need, not only for electric vehicles or our houses, computers, but just AI in general. We had one group that was talking to build a 450 megawatt gas-fired power plant just for a data center. So data centers are popping up all over the place. There's just a huge need for energy, and I appreciate that that R+ is considering Carbon County for one of the places.
Yeah, just thanks. Well, we went through this once. It's the first project is now we're collecting the tax money, and so there's money going into affordable housing. I think we'll begin to see some projects that we're planning to do that will help with housing, using the money that we got from you guys and Intermountain Electronics. So the downsides don't outweigh the positive of the project. So I'm supportive.
I'm also supportive. I think it's a good thing for our community. So I think there's support from the commission. And then we're working on finalizing our agreements for the CRA. So I think we'll continue to move forward on that.
Thank you, commissioners, for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 6 on the agenda is consideration of possible approval of resolution number 2024-04, appointment to board board applicants to Carbon County boards. Commissioners, we have several boards that we're looking at filling tonight. The first one, we'll take these one at a time, is the Carbon County Recreation Transportation Special Service District. We have 4 open seats on this board, and we're not quite sure how all 4 of them came up at the same time, other than when we adjusted and went from a 7-person board to a 5-person board. It threw off our scales. So tonight we'd like to appoint 2 of them for 4-year terms and 2 of them for a 2-year term, after which they would continue as 4-year terms. And for this board, we have 5 applicants. The names are Dennis Christensen, Kevin Axelgard, Chris Haycock, Wendy Berryman, and Lori Bowman. You had a chance to review their applications, and
Yeah, Commissioner Hopes, I believe that 4 of the 5 are currently on
correct.
the board. it would be my thought is if they've already got the experience that we should possibly leave them on. The only question I have is who to put on 4-year and who to put on 2-year.
Dennis Christensen requested to be on a 2-year term. But then after that,
I think another option would be to have Kevin Axelgard move up to a 2-year.
Okay.
And my thoughts are just continue to have Wendy Berryman and Laurie Bowman continue to serve there.
And those two would have the 4-year terms.
4-year terms. Yeah.
If that was emotional.
I'll make it.
Second.
I'll make the motion that we appoint to the Recreation Transportation Local Building Authority Dennis Christensen and Kevin Axelgard for 2-year terms, and Wendy Berryman and Laurie Bowman for 4-year terms.
And I will second that.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. The second board that we'll talk about today is the Schofield Reservoir. We're going to have to table and re-advertise that one. The positions that we advertise, there are 5 districts up there, and we advertised for some of the wrong districts, so we're going to re-advertise that one. So we'll table that one. That's okay. And then the next board would be the Carbon County Economic Development Board. On this board, we have 3 vacancies, and they're 4-year terms, and we received 5 applicants. Zach Kanakis, Orrin Stainbrook, John Richens, and Jason Roberts. Do you have any preferences? 3 of those are currently serving on that board and have done a good job.
If there's no discussion, I would make a motion that we have Dr. Kanakis, Orrin Stainbrook, and John Richens remain on the board.
And I'll second that with a little caveat. Orrin Stainbrook is finishing the position of Leif Nelson that moved out of the area and had to be replaced. So Orrin's only been on for 1 year, and all of them have only been on 1 term. So I think some continuity there will continue to help. This board is the ones that review and approve the rural grant applications. Businesses can apply for grant money through this board. They get $200,000 a year. This will be the 4th year, is that right, Shani? And it's been significant in helping small and medium-sized businesses in the county do expansion, and has resulted in over 100 new employees hired because of the expansion. So I think the board's on a good trajectory, and so I'd make the motion. Well, I'll second the motion to have those stay on.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. The next board that we have is the Carbon County Tax Advisory Board. This is the board that allocates the funds that are received through transient room tax and restaurant tax. We have 4 vacancies. The one thing I don't know, this board is set up so that the majority of the board is representing the industry. So either from hotels and or restaurants. The 4 vacancies that are there, or 4 open positions, are they all restaurant or industry? So we need industry people in those positions. Okay.
And I know 3 of the 4 are all 4 of these from industry.
So we have five applicants. Jason Roberts is not an industry individual. He applied for this board as well. Crystal Nostrum from Shore Stay Plus, Amy Anderson from Helper Beer, Cammie McManus from Super 8, and William Hicks from Farlenos, or Bill from Farlenos. So we have 4 from industry and 1 that is, he works, I believe, as an electrical contractor. So I think we have 4 that meet the industry or the need for our board.
With that in mind, I'd make the motion that we approve Amy Anderson, William Hicks, Cammie McManus, and Crystal Nostrant to serve on the Tax Advisory Board.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The next board is the Water Conservancy District 1. Is that what you guys have?
Yeah.
Division
Okay.
1. Yeah.
Division 1. We have 2 applicants for this board. Daniel Allen, who is currently serving on the board, and Keith Williams, who is a new applicant.
Maybe I could shed some light on this one. The Water Conservancy District has 5 board members, and they have to be representing different parts of the county. This vacancy that's coming up is for the Schofield area. The Water Conservancy District is in the middle of a very robust assignment to own and operate the Lower Basin Reservoir that Price City is proposing. And it's my recommendation that we don't stir that pot. Those that are in there have spent a lot of time trying to weigh whether that's something that board should tackle, because it's extremely large in nature and would require some really big changes to that conservancy district. So I would think that we would be well served by Daniel Allen. He's been very helpful and good already, and is already in the middle of those questions and decisions that have been brought up, and that we need to have the conservancy district continue to be on the front end of, so that we don't disrupt that project. The federal government, the NRCS, who will fund 75% of this project, they needed to know a couple of months ago who would own and operate it, and everything was put on hold in that whole process until a decision was made. So I thank John Richens, the chairman of that board, and the rest of the board members up to this point for accepting that challenge. So
I would agree. I think Daniel's done a great job on that board.
So got a motion, I'll second.
I'll make the motion that we appoint Daniel Allen to the Water Conservancy District Board.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The next one is the Water Conservancy District Division 5. We only received 1 applicant. J. Tyler Clark, or Tyler Clark, was the applicant, and this is the Wellington area, correct?
Yes. And the previous board member was Brad Timothy, and he has resigned, or doesn't want to continue. So I think Justin would do a great job.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve Justin Tyler Clark for the Water Conservancy District application, Division 5.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We have 1 more board, but we received no applicants, so we'll re-advertise for that board, and that's the Housing Authority of Carbon County. That board directs some of the subsidized housing that we have in our community, and that's a board that's oftentimes difficult to fill, so we'll re-advertise and see if we can get some folks to sit on that board. Okay, item number 7 is review and possible approval of Rodeo Contract Agreement between Carbon County and AllIn Pro Rodeo LLC. would you like to come up and talk to this, please? Courtney?
You guys know how much I love coming up and chatting in commission meeting. Courtney Cox, for the record. So you guys were introduced to AllIn Pro Rodeo LLC a couple months ago. Ben Lofthouse came in and talked about how he'd love to bring a PRCA rodeo back to Carbon County. And so I chased him down after that meeting and chatted with him, and we've been in contact ever since. And now we have it all set up for them to come in next year, bring a PRCA rodeo to Carbon County. We're really excited about it. We're going to be calling it the Black Diamond Rodeo, which a lot of people will be very familiar with in our community. And we're excited to bring back that nostalgic name. So, having said that, we have been working on a rodeo contract agreement with AllIn Pro Rodeo. We finally got the details of it, I think, knocked out, and we have a pretty good contract to present to you guys. So do you have any questions for me?
I don't have any questions. I think as I've watched the conversations back and forth between legal and you and them, I think most of my questions have been answered. Do you guys have any?
No, I appreciate how that has been handled, and just looking into the PRCA rodeo, I didn't know that they had so many events. This year they had 59 events in 17 states, being capped right now in Las Vegas. That starts tomorrow through the 14th. So it's a big event. It's a huge event, very limited in Utah. I think there's 3 events that are going to happen, or that did happen this year in Utah. So, and they are spread out. It's not back-to-back weekends in Utah. They go all over the place. So,
Right.
it would be a tough life to be in the rodeo circuit, but really neat to see this type of a rodeo coming here.
Yeah, yep. I'm glad that we can add Carbon County to the list of events that they have in Utah as opportunities. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This rodeo contract is a 3-year contract. So we'll see the rodeo come back at least a couple of times, but hopefully we'll go far beyond that with it. That's our goal.
Tell the public when this rodeo will occur
It's going to be June 6th and 7th next year.
in conjunction with.
We're going to be hosting it alongside the fair. This will be its own standalone event, but we are going to incorporate it into the schedule of the fair just so that people have even that much more that they can do that weekend. So going to be a good fair, and it's going to be an even better rodeo.
And one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is
The shark cage.
the shark cage. The concept of that, if folks don't know, we usually see the horseback, the bareback, the bull. Well, they actually put a tank, if you will, a shark tank in the middle, or a cage in the middle, and let people watch the bull riders from that vantage point.
Yeah, you can't get much closer to the action than this cage. You are sitting right in the middle of the arena, and this is actually going to be offered as part of our largest sponsorship package. So if people are interested and they want to sit in a cage and they want to get a hold of me, we can talk those details through. But yeah, that is going to be part of our sponsorship opportunities. So
Very neat.
Well, anybody that's brave enough to stand in that shark cage is my guest, because I just watched a video of a bull that flipped a car. So
it is
that
gonna be,
little cage is not going to hold a bull.
Not to deter people. It is going to be staked down. There's cup holders inside. It's going to be a good time.
It'd be more interesting if it got flipped over.
I don't disagree, but from a liability standpoint, we don't want to see that happen. So
I think your approach should be, who do you want in it? And we'll pay to put them there.
there you go. There you go. You sponsor, but you get to pick who goes in. I like it. I'll support that.
Well, I appreciate your efforts on that, and Lynn.
Yes,
the
thank you,
assistance and advisement
thank
on
you.
the contract. If there's no other discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the rodeo contract agreement between Carbon County and AllIn Pro Rodeo LLC.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, commissions.
Thank you. Item number 8, consideration of possible approval of technical planning assistance program funds, cooperative agreement. Commissioner Jensen, do you want to explain this one?
Yes, the state of Utah Department of Transportation has a grant program to assist counties in making some long-range planning. And the way that works is they make funds available. The county then hires an engineering firm to do a study. So this is an agreement between us and the state for that grant money. So it's a very valuable tool. Daniel Luke, our road supervisor, is working closely with them, so it's a great effort on the part of the state to try to help us look ahead. It helps them also in their future struggles with Highway 6 or Highway 10, access on and off, and those types of things, knowing where we would add future development and extra vehicles on the road. So
The one thing that we might need to change is I believe this is a ratification rather than approval.
it is.
Okay. Do you have any questions or comments?
I don't. I agree with what Commissioner Jensen said, that the need of this is crucial, so very important.
I'll make the motion that we approve the Technical Planning Assistance Program Funds Cooperative Agreement with UDOT.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 9, public hearing to open and adjust the 2024 Carbon County budget. Seth, I'll turn the time over to you.
Thanks. Each year we generally open and adjust the current budget twice throughout the year. Generally this is based on expenses that we didn't foresee, if there were repairs that were needed to equipment or buildings. This might also come about if we have funds that come into the county that we weren't anticipating, whether that be grant funds or federal funds or state funds. So I'll go through and again, we usually do this twice a year. This year we didn't do budget amendments in the summer, July area, so this will cover the whole year. So I'll go through the budget amendments that we have, the amount and the purpose for them, and then if you have any questions, we can go to that point. The first one is that we have a $75,000 increase to our public defender account. This has been a pretty normal thing year on year, is that we have pretty large increases to our needs for public defenders, and some of that is that we cover multiple cities as well as the county's public defenders. So the second one is a $20,000 increase to the CJC budget, and this was for their golf tournament. This is a fundraiser, so these funds are all covered by funds raised through the golf tournament. The third is something we've addressed a couple times in commission meeting. It was the purchase of the Campbell property. We weren't sure that would go through this year. It has. That was about 2.9 million. So there's the increase for that to our budget. The fourth one is for opioid funds. We've started to really receive quite a few settlement funds from different settlements with this opioid class action suit that's gone through, and so we have an increase of $600,000 for opioid funds that we've received, and then we've dispersed to the health department or Four Corners Mental Health for their use. The fifth item is we've had a lot of issues with door locks in this building, so we've repaired and replaced a lot of them this year. So there's a $160,000 increase to the budget for the courthouse maintenance to cover those. The sixth thing is we had a fixed $56,000 increase proposed to our budget for one piece of election equipment. As part of the busy presidential election year we had this year, we were encouraged by the state to purchase a high-speed tabulator for our ballots. And as part of it, they covered or gave us state funds to cover a majority of that tabulator. The next item 7, I believe, is we just have had a decent number besides the door locks of maintenance items on buildings, and so we have 11,000 proposed increase to our maintenance budget for this building and maintenance in general. The next item number 8, is a $50,000 increase to our weed and mosquito budget. This is mainly to purchase pre-emergent and chemicals for a lot of spraying that we did this year. We were trying to catch up for some previous years, and so that's what that one was for. The next item is for a $200,000 increase to our tourism budget. And this one was, the state has told us not to have any of our TRT or TRCC, I guess I should say our restaurant tax or our transient room tax funds go into fund balance. And because of that, we continually have an increase in what we would take in each year, thanks to Tina. And so we just want to make sure that we're actually expending what we take in this year, so we don't get any dings from the state. Our next item is there was a purchase of 2 vans for tours and a purchase for a backhoe that they needed in the rec department. So it was $150,000 increase proposed for the rec department. Next item was that we had to update radios for emergency services for the sheriff's department as well, and change what we were doing there. A lot of that was brought on by the state to get on the same system. So there's a $140,000 increase to the sheriff's department budget to cover those. Next item is for the search and rescue. All of their funds are brought in through fundraising through the demolition derby. There's a $40,000 increase proposed for a new pickup that they purchased that they were in need of. Our next item is for $20,000 increase proposed for just our general street lighting. We had a light pole that needed to be replaced. That was something that was unexpected. Our next item is for what they call the 9 Mile Gateway Project. It's a road project that we received grant funds for and covers the majority of a $2 million increase to the road department's budget. Our next item is for our Fund 21, which is our CRA fund. It's a $700,000 increase proposed, and this is for tax increment, something that was just mentioned briefly in the presentation. As Graphite Solar pays their property taxes and personal property taxes, there's a certain portion of that that goes back to the companies, them and Intermountain Electronics, as a tax benefit. So that's what those are for. So nothing that wasn't planned previously. The next item is for the senior center. We have an $80,000 increase proposed for the senior center. That was for 2 StarCraft vans that they needed for essentially for shuttling. Theirs out there have gotten very old, and so they were in need of replacement. The next item is for the fairgrounds. There was a lot of their equipment is also getting a little older, and so they had several repairs for equipment. One was for a skid steer, one's for their tractor, and then one was they actually replaced 2 of their basketball hoops. They were getting into disrepair. So there's a $90,000 increase proposed to their budget. That's Fund 26. Our next item is for Fund 28, and this is a $30,000 increase for our rural county grant. And essentially all this is a carryover from the previous year. These are funds that we already received from the state in our rural county grant, but we didn't expend until this year. There were things that were given to businesses to help them expand and create jobs. Our next item is for Fund 45, which is our capital improvements. There's a $25,000 increase proposed there for IT site. There was some TV amplifiers that needed to be replaced, so that was a purchase for those. And then our final item is for Fund 54, which is our airport. There's a project out there that's been started this year. A lot of it will take place next year, but it's for a maintenance hangar construction for USU students. And this portion is just for the engineering that took place this year. It's for $260,000 increase for that project. And so that's all the amendments that we have proposed tonight. If you had any questions.
I don't have any questions.
I don't have any.
No questions.
We'll now open the public hearing at 5:15. Anybody that would like to speak to this, please come to the mic, state your name for the record, and let us know. Seeing nobody jumping at the chance to speak to this, we'll close at 5:16. And we'll move on to item number 10, which is consideration of possible approval of amendments to the 2024 budget.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the possible approvals of, or excuse me, the approval of amendments to the 2024 budget.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 11 is the public hearing regarding the Carbon County 2025 tentative budget. Seth.
I'm not going to go through the whole presentation again as we previously did in the last commission meeting. It was laid out in fairly decent detail, and then we've had a copy of the tentative budget in our office for the last 10 days. But there are a few items I just want to cover quickly, if that's all right. One of those is that in this previous year, the state legislature passed a new state code that requires anytime a county increases wages for any officer of the county, that they need to have a public hearing. So I just wanted to make clear that as part of this public hearing, it's not only for the budget, but it's also for public hearing for wage increases. We've discussed that in the past, and you may want to touch on that again. But anytime we have any kind of increase for elected officials, department heads, as well as chief deputies for departments, anytime there's any kind of increase there, we have to have a public hearing for that. So just want to mention that that's part of this. One other thing I wanted to mention is that and this has come about through discussions with a couple of members of the public. Even though our budget is increasing year over year, we have not budgeted to do any property tax increases or to bring in any extra funds through property taxes year over year. So just want to make that clear as well. And then final item that I wanted to mention, if it's all right, is that while we'll be hopefully approving the budget tonight as it stands or as it's been presented, there was just some concern with Fund 15, which is our travel and tourism. The travel and tourism, the board hasn't met yet. And while it's unlikely that their total budget will change, they probably will have a presentation and some decisions to make about how that budget is used or spent. So I think that will be presented in the next meeting. I didn't have anything else, but if there's any questions.
I don't have any questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
I don't either.
We'll now open the public hearing for the Carbon County 2025 tentative budget at 5:17. Anybody that would like to speak to that, please come up and state your name. Again, seeing nobody anxious to get up, we'll close the public hearing at 5:18 and move on to item number 12, consideration of possible approval of the Carbon County 2025 budget.
There's no more discussion. I'll make the motion that we approve the Carbon County 2025 budget.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 2025 budget. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 13 is adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners and convene as the Carbon County Board of Equalization.
Need a motion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we convene, adjourn as Carbon County Board of Commissioners and convene as the Carbon County Board of Equalization.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Commissioners, again, we have a couple different sets of adjustments to be made or looked at tonight. The first one has 49 parcels. These were ones that were received before the deadline and have been stipulated and just need our approval.
No questions on my part.
No questions either. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the 49 parcels that have been stipulated with the assessor's office.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. The next set of adjustments or possible adjustments are those that were received after the deadline in October. And these ones have been reviewed and also been stipulated to if we agree to those. Any questions?
Kevin.
Yes. Just state your name and what your role in this is.
My name is Kevin Ewell, and I've been working with the assessor's office. These were recommended, not stipulated for the post.
Recommended for stipulation.
Correct.
Thanks. Thanks for the clarification.
There's 85. in that
85
list.
of them. So there's 85 of those. Do we have any recommendations or motions?
I'll make the motion that we approve these late appeals that were received after September 16th. 85 of them.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Can I
passed.
just, I apologize, Commissioner. Just one point, just to Kevin's, the ones that have been stipulated means that the taxpayers has signed as well as the assessor's office and agreed. Therefore, the taxpayer has agreed to the value and cannot appeal to the state. Whereas the ones that Kevin mentioned that are recommendations, they're not ones that the taxpayers necessarily assigned or agreed to the value change, although that value will be changed to that in the county records. The taxpayer still has their rights to appeal that to the state.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification. And then the last one, there are 5 parcels. Yeah, 5 parcels. These are assessor initiated adjustments. Oftentimes these are when there is an error found. We talked about one today. Kevin and I talked about one today. I don't know if this includes that one, where a mobile home, which is considered personal property, was also being valued as real property. And so we had to remove the mobile home from the property value and make the adjustment so that they're separate. It was being valued on both sides. So those are adjustments that there's an error that the assessor or the assessor's office finds, and they recommend correcting those errors. We have 5 of those.
If there's no further conversation, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the 5 assessor-initiated changes.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 15, adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Equalization and convene as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners.
I'll go ahead and make that motion that we adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Equalization and convene as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 16, consideration of possible approval of resolution 2024-05 authorizing the execution of amended interlocal agreement between Carbon County and Carbon County Redevelopment Agency. This is an adjustment to one of the current CRAs that we have. It's the Intermountain Electronics CRA. They are expanding their building and would like to include in their expansion in their CRA, which would extend the life of the CRA, is basically what they're asking. Do you have any further details to this?
Yeah, a little more detail maybe. When Intermountain Electronics in 2019 and 20 was trying to decide whether to do expansion here in Price or in Denver, Colorado, we entered into a tax incentive with them for the full expansion of their facility. And because of one property owner that needed to sell property to Intermountain Electronics so the footprint of their large building could be expanded all the way out, that individual wouldn't sell. And so they did an initial expansion, which you see currently, but that was short of the original plan. So now 2 years later, after their tax incentives started, after they finished the building, they are at a point now where they've purchased this property and they are able to expand to the full potential, or their full size of the building. So what they're asking for here is that they get credit for the 2 years that they lost, which is extending this agreement that we made with them 2 additional years so they can take advantage of that, the tax incentive that we offered.
Questions or anything else?
No, I don't have any questions.
I think it's been a good thing for the community. They continue to ramp up. They've hired over 150, 180 employees already, and their total expansion was a total of 300 additional employees, if I remember right. So it's been good to provide that many jobs for the community, and also the tax base that will help offset some of the tax base that we've lost.
So if there's no other comment, I'll go ahead and make a motion then that we approve the resolution 2024-05 authorizing the execution and amendment of an interlocal agreement between Carbon County and the Carbon County Redevelopment Agency.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 17 is adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners and convene as the Redevelopment Agency of Carbon County.
I'll make the motion that we adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners and convene as the Redevelopment Agency of Carbon County.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now the Redevelopment Agency of Carbon County. Item number 18 is consideration and possible approval of resolution number RDA 2024-01, authorizing the execution of the amended interlocal agreements for Intermountain Industrial Park Reinvestment Project Area. Just a brief explanation of what this is. We have agreements with the other taxing entities, the Water Conservancy District, the school district, and the Pri-Wide, who are all taxing entities that would take part in giving an incentive for this project. This would then authorize us to go and negotiate that extended agreement with those other taxing entities. Anything else to add to that?
Shani, do you have anything? I don't.
Just want you to know that, or the public to know, that Intermountain Electronics, they have gone to all the taxing entities and they've kind of explained the project and the impact it's had in our community. So they still need to go back to the taxing entities for approval. But you guys, we're hoping to get all of it approved today through the county because we're one of the taxing entities as well. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that. So, okay.
Perfect. So what we're accomplishing, just quickly, what we're accomplishing is both approving our incentive as the county, as a taxing entity, and then authorizing to go to each of the taxing entities with, because we have because we're the agency, we have an interlocal agreement with each of those taxing entities that will need to be amended. So.
No more
Okay.
questions?
No more questions.
I'll make the motion that we approve resolution number RDA 2024-01, authorizing the executive execution of amended interlocal agreements for Intermountain Electronics Industrial Park Reinvestment Project Area.
And I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Number 19, consideration of possible approval of resolution number RDA 2024-02, authorizing the execution of amended participation agreements with Intermountain Electronics. Again, this is speaking to the agreements that we have with the other taxing entities. Yeah.
No questions.
No questions either. If there's no further discussion, I'll go ahead and throw out a motion that we issue approval of the resolution number RDA 2024-02, authorizing the execution of amendment participation agreement with Intermountain Electronics.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 20 is adjourn as the redevelopment agency of Carbon County and convene as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now the Carbon County Board of Commissioners.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.